Want to make some money? Stay with us. Listen to everything we have to say. This show is about finding betting opportunities in the sports world. Why? To pad your bank account. I'm Lawrence Pressman. Joe Raineri with us. Art DiCesare from the Westgate. You're watching the best betting show ever. Hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel. Art DiCesare. I am super stoked. Today's show has so much color. I wore my special hat. We got a lot to talk about. How excited are you, Art? Show us your excitement.
My excitement is a little tempered because I know what's coming.
There we go. Joe Raineri, I always used to say Teddy Covers, the only man who cries during an orgasm. Art DiCesare, he doesn't even move. Joe Raineri.
Art is the guy we want. Art is poker face the whole way through. You gotta love it, man. When guys come up to the counter on you, Art, and they're like, "Hey, Art, like, what do you think, man? The Dodgers tonight?" You give them that straight look and be like, "It's all you, guys. It's all you."
There we go.
I give him the I don't even bet.
Guys, we got so much to talk about. We're going to take apart every NBA game. We're going to discuss the one single NHL game. We're going to talk baseball. Joe Raineri has a special treat for us. I have a video for you guys that I think you'll all enjoy. And Art DiCesare is going to do a little dance. No, he's not. Art,
no.
Baseball tonight. The Blue Jays looked great last night from start to finish, and nobody cares. It's going to be we're going to get to where it's game 7. Blue Jays are up 12-3, bottom of the 9th, and the Dodgers are still going to be minus 200 to win it all, right?
Well, I mean, listen, the Dodger love and the Dodger market is overwhelming. We all get that. They're another $2 favorite tonight. But, as I mentioned on the show yesterday, them losing outright was going to be good for us. And it happened because it crushed all the parlays yesterday with all the Dodger money line, all the Dodger run line stuff, even Dodger team total stuff. So good day for us. And listen, I've mentioned this before. We want a 7-game series. More games for us, more content, more booking options. So we hope it goes 7.
We said originally, right, Art, they had a puncher's chance. They certainly do because of that lineup. And, 1 through 9 gets on base, makes good things happen here. I'm fascinated with the totals, though. The total started in Toronto at 7.5. They came to L.A. We saw the first couple of games, 8.5. We saw today, earlier 7.5. Are you guys to 8? Do you think that continues to rise? I mean, are we ever getting this crazy pitchers battle that a lot of people still think is coming?
Probably as far as it rising, I think it will because, like I said, you get a lot of public money when it comes to the World Series, and especially with the Dodgers being in it. And anyone who's going to come in and sit in the sports book on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday and watch a World Series game, they're going to bet overs. So I think it will continue to rise. I don't know if we're going to ever see this quote-unquote pitching, gem that we kind of maybe expected in one of these games, Joe. I think we're going to get to an 8 at some point. I don't know if we're going to get back to 8.5. A game 7 might be a little bit tighter, lower scoring, a lot of things going on. Maybe you're sitting at a 7.5, juice to the under in a game 7. I could see a scenario like that.
Art DiCesare joining us. Art works at the Westgate, one of the most prestigious sports books in the world. And it's really one of the reasons that separates the show from everybody else. Art comes on and your information is gold, bro. I mean, your ability to be excited, not so much, but your information, gold. NBA, we are going to discuss college football and NFL, but NBA, we got a big slate of games going tonight. Offhand, 10. Where's the money going?
Yeah, and it's funny. I saw in the comments yesterday, a guy said, hey, give us more sharp NBA stuff. And listen, any day I can give you sharp information on any sport, I'm going to do it. But I will say this, I'm never going to throw fake information out there. I'm not going to just go, hey, this game moved and it's sharp information. So I will give it when available. And early in the season, you've seen maybe a game or two a day where really there's some sharp stuff going on out there. I would say today there's really nothing sharp, just stuff that's moved overnight. I don't want to sit here and, like I said, give out fake information.
Yeah, that's a good point, Art. Let's stay with that, because I think what people need to realize, if you haven't caught on to it, the line movements and a lot of the steam often comes late in the game here with the NBA, because who the hell knows who's playing? Like, it's very hard for a guy to move, expecting syndicates and groups and respected guys just to hope that a dude is playing in the lineup is absurd. Like, later in the day is always the better for the NBA, because otherwise you're going to be caught with a ticket and go, and that's where the most overreaction is too, by the way, Art, right? The minute somebody is ruled out, that's when the value is created, right? From the movement then, not at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning. There's no sharp movement in the NBA.
I look at it like this. The overnight line, a guy betting into a side on an overnight line maybe just is looking at what a team has done in the week and kind of projecting, hey, they might sit a couple of guys. So that person's trying to get ahead of it. That's why you see some of that.
Right.
Totals obviously can fluctuate overnight, a point or two. It happens. Then you get the early morning stuff where you get it's like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning in Vegas, where you get that first injury report.
Yep.
And you're right, Joe, the overreaction on a line when a guy is out, sometimes I've seen it for the last couple of years with all this load management. When that superstar player's out, most of the time, that team actually wins the game over the overreaction. And you see that a lot. And then now all of a sudden you're getting a team getting 6 points who maybe was, a 1 point favorite. So it's really hard with the NBA. That's why just to, for that guy's comments, and I forget his name, but, happy you commented, I want to always give real information and not just go, oh, well, these lines are yo-yoing up and down and they're sharp.
There we go.
Yep.
Talk about real information. Let's turn our attention to the NFL. Art, Bears and Bengals, Falcons and Pats, and Jaguars and Raiders. Where's the money going in these 3 games?
Yeah, Bears at Bengals. That was Bears 2. We're now Bears 2.5, minus 116. Because obviously we deal our minus 108 line. So that is trending to 3. There has been some Flacco questions. He did leave the game last week, but he did come back. So I don't know if we're going to get to 3 on the game. It feels like 2.5 is the right number. But that was just a market move. Flacco news, all that type of stuff. Atlanta at New England. That was as low as 4.5. It's now 6.5. Sharps are on New England. Obviously, Atlanta's dealing with quarterback and receiver issues on their injury list. So, once again, if New England gets to 7, they will buy on Atlanta. New England's going to be very popular in the moneyline parlays and the teasers because we're right in that 6.5 range. We're 6.5 right now. The local game, Jags at Raiders. Jags are 3 minus 120. Look ahead on this was Vegas like minus 2. That's completely flipped. Both teams are off a bye, which is interesting. So, I'm sure we'll get a little bit of public Vegas money. Have not seen that yet. The initial stuff is just kind of public Jaguar money.
2 teams, question marks across the board. But that Patriots move, I saw that line, that look ahead, 2.5, I think, maybe a 3, but boy, that didn't last long because 5.5. It is kind of no man's land, though, Art. Right? The books at this point saying 5.5. That's not a great number one way or another if you're looking to get any value here.
No, definitely not. And like I said, we pushed it even further, 6.5.
Wow.
And that's us speculating a little bit maybe about some of the injuries Atlanta has. And listen, you can't like what you've seen out of Atlanta. Their no-show at home against Miami last week. I know they were missing Drake London and their quarterback, but oh my God, Miami looked like the 72 Dolphins in that game. They won 34-3. That was unbelievable. So New England also too is this team on the rise. A hot team that people are going to want to really start the bet.
Art, college football, my friend. Where is? Give us some actionable betting info for some college football.
Sure. Miami at SMU. That was as low as 10 with the Hurricanes on the road. SMU was brutal in their game last week against Wake Forest, which they lost. Sharps laid 10. They laid 11. We were at 11.5. Then this morning we're at 12 on Miami. So you've seen a 2-point move there. Sharps hit 2 different numbers on that game. Florida and Georgia, obviously that's a neutral. Georgia is -7. When it was 7.5, the Sharps took Florida with 7 and the hook on that game. And then Oklahoma at Tennessee. Tennessee is a 3-point home favorite, and this is one of these games too. If it ever gets under 3, they're going to bet Tennessee. When it was as high as 3.5, the Sharps took the number with Oklahoma at 3.5. Look ahead line on this game over the summer was Oklahoma as a 1-point favorite. So obviously Oklahoma, and they've dealt with a lot of quarterback issues with the health, but they've clearly fallen off power rating wise, because now that number's flipped 4.5 points.
It's funny, Art. There are 2 games that we've talked about so far in this segment during the week. One of them we just talked about was the amount of steam and how many moves the pros hit when it came to Michigan State on the road against Minnesota yesterday, right? And I still think we're down 3.5, 3. There hasn't been any buyback on that one. But this Florida Miami game versus SMU too, it's clear the line in the sand is, in both of these situations, the pros think both Minnesota and SMU, just because they're home, they are being way overvalued here. The public loves Minnesota and SMU, but this is the big pros versus Joe's 2 games, no?
No doubt. I think that Miami one especially. Now, I don't really know how many public people are going to come in and bet SMU, but I think, too, I always like to notice if a group lays 10 and then a different group lays 11, and now you're at 12, do we have the other groups? Because 12 is a dead number for the most part.
Right.
I mean, when the game's landing 12, so do we get pushed to 13 at some point? Because 12, 12.5 are dead. Do we get to 13 by a different group, or do one of these original 2 groups come in and push the number even higher?
Crazy. Those are the 2 big ones.
Art, let's head to our parlay of the day, man. How did it do yesterday?
It was a winner.
Win, my friends. Yes. Don't ask me what the hell we played, but I'm pretty sure it won. I know I had Miami, and they dropped another 150 points in an NBA game, which is kind of crazy. And Prez, you won yours too.
I don't even know what I had.
Oilers regulation. Regulation.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Down 2-0 to start the game. I swept. I am rolling right now. I'm finally getting it going in hockey. I went 3-0 last night, 1-0 the night before. I've won 4 of my last 5 hockey cards. We're going with the over.
Let's be realistic, though. Hold on. Let's just shout out to all of those that have ripped our ass over the last couple of days about our, you guys so 1-3. You guys are tough. I guarantee you not one of those people will drop into the chat today about, hey, congrats, man. Way to bounce back. Great job. Sweet. 3 for 3. But we won't get any of that love, Prez.
No.
Yeah. Where can I send a tip? Parlay of the day. I am going with over 1.5 goals in the first period in the hockey game tonight. Leafs are playing Columbus Blue Jackets. This play was given to me by the great Carmine Bianco. It might be his client play that I stole. Don't tell him that.
What do you mean might be?
Over 1.5 goals. First period in the Toronto Maple Leaf game. Go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead, Art. What do you got?
I'm going to take a short road favorite in the NBA on the money line. The Suns are awful. I'm taking the Grizzlies on the money line.
Oh, going with the Grizz on the money line in that spot there. I kind of like that one there, Art. I am going to take the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight on the money line as well, because I think all the Celtics suck. And they're going to continue to suck for a while now. It is a punt on the season, and I got no problem backing the Cavs on the money line at what I think is a short price here.
There we go. Guys, we're going to do fade or not fade. What we're going to discuss is the teams that are currently in the playoffs in the NFL if it starts today. We're going to decide whether these teams will remain in the playoffs moving forward. But before we get into that, I was telling Joe yesterday, Art DiCesare, that I auditioned for the Canadian version of Price is Right. We call it Price is More Expensive, but that's just the Canadian name for the show. It actually is The Price is Right. Anyway, I have made it to the final round of auditions, and I had to send in a video that gave my name, my age, my city I live in, and what I would do if I won The Price is Right. Joe, here is the video.
Lawrence Robbie, you're 56 years old. Why are you playing hockey outside in your front?
I'm getting ready to be on The Price is Right.
What does hockey have to do with The Price is Right?
Well, when I win, I'm going to buy my hometown team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Stick drop.
Jeez. I have questions. I got a lot of questions.
Go ahead.
First of all, you're way older than 56. Don't lie.
That's a statement.
Second. Well, okay, fair enough. Second of all, what kind of things do they give away on the Canadian Price is Right? Like snowblowers and stuff? Like, what are they doing?
Yes.
Like
snowblowers, loony removers.
Okay.
Yeah. Beaver beater uppers.
Okay. Season tickets to the Winnipeg Jets.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. The Winnipeg Jets.
The Argonauts are a tough ticket, right?
Oh,
you
yeah,
can probably
the Argonauts,
you can get the Argonauts going, right? Yeah.
What about
You get like
the
a
Toronto
signed helmet
Rock?
from the Expos.
I'd love a signed helmet from the Expos.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
I can't.
That would be amazing.
I'm excited for that documentary.
Yes.
On the Expos.
Can we just for a second though? Can we maybe just take a look at the stick handling here if we can?
Lawrence Robbie, you're 50.
I just want to look at the stick handling.
You like the body movement?
Yeah,
I was trying to dance.
Yeah, really impressive. Like really impressive stuff, Prez. That was good. Like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, I'm trying to get all the damn prices right. Leave me alone.
All right. Well,
Art,
let's ask the chat. Lay the odds here. You're in the risk room. The odds of the Prez based off of that video, them calling up and being like, let's go. You're on the show. Let's do it. What are you laying it at?
I think the fact that he even made like a final group is ridiculous. But I'm going to say this. Prez, as much as I really don't like Prez, he has a tremendous personality.
Yeah.
And I don't know what kind of personalities they're dealing with in this last group. I'm going to say Prez is actually a favorite to make the show.
Wow.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm going to say
minus 135.
I'm gonna open a minus 120 as a favorite to make it.
Minus 120?
That's what I'm opening them as.
All right,
short favorite to make it.
God, chat, are you laying minus 120 thinking the Prez on that video is getting called to be on the show? Please drop that in there and let us know who's laying the 120.
To be fair, I'm gonna deal a 30-cent line. So if you want to take yes, you're laying minus 110. Because I don't want to take even money. I don't want to take even money.
Agree.
There's going to be a lot of Prez hate. So I'm going to minus 110 on the other side.
Fair enough.
Okay, 30-cent line.
30-cent line.
Let's get into fade. Let's get into fade or not fade, guys. Let's start with the AFC. We got if everything ended right now, you would have Indianapolis as the 1 seed, Kansas City as the 7 seed, New England, Denver, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and the LA Chargers in the middle.
That's crazy.
All right, well, I'll start with you, Joe. How do you think this is going to shape up? Which you got Jacksonville, Houston, Cincinnati, Las Vegas, and Baltimore right behind.
Yep.
How do you think this is going to work itself out? Which one of those teams is going to fall away? which one of those teams is going to get in there, and how do we use that to help us with our bets?
Well, listen, I think we can all say, I know there were some guys talking about this a week ago that I was talking about, that they were once Lamar was miraculously ruled out in that game against the Bears last second, that they were betting the Ravens not to make the playoffs. And it was actually pretty juiced, I think, at that minus 165 or somewhere along those lines. Well, after they won that game, they are now back to the favorite to win the AFC North at minus money, right, Prez? So as far as I'm concerned, I don't see, even though Pittsburgh has a 2-game advantage, I don't see them being the AFC North winner here. I think Baltimore is playing playoff football from here on out, and that would be the one team I would center on, thinking maybe the Steelers not to make the playoffs is not a bad bet here, Art.
Oh, I don't disagree. I mean, you look at Baltimore this week, they're going to get Miami. Next week, they're going to get Minnesota with J.J. McCarthy. Right there, they're 4-5, right in the mix, and they have not played Pittsburgh yet.
Yeah.
So they have both games with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh has Indy coming in this week. I know it's at home, but it's still the best team in the AFC right now coming into their building. It's everything you said, Joe. I mean, it's Pittsburgh moving out, and it's Baltimore moving in. You've probably missed it, but this is now the time also to bet Baltimore to win the Super Bowl.
I agree.
To win the AFC. I mean, this is the time to do it.
It's a great point.
Yep.
It's a great point. I have a question, though, in regards to that situation. Are you liking Pittsburgh to not make the playoffs or to not win that division more than Baltimore to win? Because we do have Cincinnati still in there as well, one win more. So is one bet, do you like one bet more than the other? Pittsburgh not to make it, Baltimore to make it?
I would flip-flop them. That's how I would bet. I would bet Pittsburgh not to make it and Baltimore to actually win the AFC North. It's a small number now.
So both.
Yeah, I would bet them both because if I'm not mistaken, I think it's minus 120, 125, somewhere in that ballpark for Baltimore to actually win the AFC North. And it's a pretty good price for Pittsburgh to miss out in the playoffs. And there's 2 games separating them. But I think that's the way you look at it, because with 2 games coming up, and if, by the way, Baltimore, when they beat Miami on Thursday night, you're not getting that number anymore, Art. You're not getting them at minus 120, 125 to go ahead and win the AFC North.
And I mean, take it a step further. At the end of the weekend, if Pittsburgh loses to Indy at home, it's, I get it's not a division game. Both of them aren't. But I'm with you. The time now is to buy all your Baltimore stuff.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk real quick. We've got New England as this 2 seed. Buffalo is the 5 seed. New England is plus 125 to win the division. Buffalo minus 155. Are these 2 teams going to flip-flop? Where's the bet there, Art?
You missed all the value with New England. New England's schedule is so bad moving forward. It's so easy. Obviously, they're going to play one more time. New England has already beaten Buffalo. I mean, I think New England's going to win that division. But once again, you can't bet it at this number because the number was so juicy, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. My question is, where are the losses for Indy moving forward, Art, with the rest of their schedule here? Because are we convinced that Indy's going to end up with the number 1 seed in the bye? Is that really what we're buying right now? Because I don't know that I am here. I still think there is going to be a lull here with Indy at some particular point. And what is New England? Just 1 game? What? They're 6-2. Art, 7-1.
I mean, Art, I'll give you perspective here. As you know, a Kansas City Chiefs plus 240 to win the division. Buffalo plus 375. Indy plus 425.
That's
what's that, to be the 1 seed?
Yeah.
Yeah, to be the 1 seed. How can I bet Kansas City no?
Yeah, that's what you'd have to try to find, a shop that would give you a no. Most places don't.
A no on Kansas City.
But the Chiefs are also the 7 seed if it ended today. I mean, that's absurd.
Yeah.
Are we convinced it's going to be 3 teams from the AFC West are making the postseason? Because right now it's Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs are all in. Right? Are we convinced of that too? I don't know. I don't think so. I think somebody's going to be on the outside looking in there. I think the Chiefs are in, but I think maybe, just maybe, I don't trust, now that Surtain is gone, I don't trust Bo Nix on the road. I think maybe the Broncos not to make the playoffs is not a bad look either.
Interesting, especially too. I mean, that's not an easy game this week in Houston. I know we don't love Houston, but that's not an easy game.
Nope.
Yeah, we got Kansas City minus 130 to win their division. Denver plus 240. The Chargers plus 340. I don't see a bet there for myself. Let's go to the NFC, guys. Green Bay number 1 seed if it ends today. Philadelphia number 2. San Fran number 7. We got Tampa Bay, Seattle, Detroit, and the LA Rams. The teams looking up at them are Chicago, Carolina. Chicago and Carolina.
Yeah. It's crazy the way
Dallas,
this is working out.
Atlanta, Minnesota. Yep. I think the playoffs are set in the NFC.
Yep. And how bonkers is that, given the fact that we all thought, like, oh my God, the NFC is just, it's going to be, my God, it's going to be a bloodbath. They're all going to, no, those are your 7 NFC playoff teams in one way or the other.
well, let's talk about the 49ers here, Joe, because they're the one team that could leak out of this thing with all their injuries. But they do have a really easy schedule. Carolina's doing nothing. So I'm not even putting them in this conversation.
Nope.
But, man, I could see a path for Dallas to sneak into that final spot. Am I crazy here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, because you can't have exactly what they just did there against Denver. You can't have a defense that is going to give up 500 yards of offense. And then, God forbid, your offense doesn't have, a miraculous day. You're dead in the water here. Mm-hmm. It's hard. The problem is, yes, San Francisco all beat up, but the reality is it's a very well-coached team. And it's not as much as I'm banking on San Francisco being there, Prez, as I'm banking on Chicago, Carolina, Dallas, Atlanta, Minnesota, Washington, everybody chasing them, not to catch them. That, to me, I think is where you got to look, Art. To me, what you see is what you get in the NFC.
I'm with you. I think these are the 7 teams. But if I look outside, I think Chicago's the only team. Dallas, unless their offense plays perfect, they still got to score 45 points, and the defense might give up 50. Yeah. So they have to play so perfect on offense with Dak. I like Chicago. I think maybe their year next year might be their year. But if I looked outside of the 7, it would be Chicago. But it's hard not to think these aren't the 7. Obviously, like Prez said, the San Francisco injuries, they might just get so overwhelmed with them they can't overcome it. But we'll see.
They are, by the way, San Francisco, just to show you how crazy. They're 3-0 against their own division, and they're 5-1 against the conference already. And they play nothing but cupcakes. So they're going to own every tiebreaker in the world here moving forward. So, the 49ers are making the play. I know everyone wants to fade them because of the injuries, but they were still a couple of plays away from being able to cover that game against Houston late. So, this team doesn't give up. Very well coached.
That is for sure. I think the best coach team in the league, frankly, and on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Art DiCesare, you're with us tomorrow and Friday. I'm so appreciative of that. Anything you want to talk about real quick before we let you go?
No, just a lot more, football information the next couple of days. Obviously, we'll be hitting on Thursday Night Football tomorrow, and, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Real quick, Art, too. Nothing, just checking in college football tonight. Nothing moving the needle. I saw a lot of Middle Tennessee State money come in there. Anything crazy?
We saw a little FIU money, went to 3.5 on the game, but nothing of note.
Nothing crazy. Yep.
No.
Good deal.
There we go. Art DiCesare, thanks for doing this. Get out of here, my brother. Joe Raineri.
Wait, Art. Do you want to see the Price is Right video again on the way out? You good? You got it? You're good?
No, I'm good. I'm scarred for life.
Good. Okay, he's good. Very good. Okay, just want to make sure. Yep. Good.
Time for business, baby.
Oh, no.
What a run I am on right now. 4-1 last night for my clients, a perfect 3-0 on Monday for my clients. I'm on a 13-4 baseball run and a 4-0 NBA run. I got one baseball play and one NBA play up tonight. I also have a 5% in college football. I won my 5% last week. We got another one on Saturday. I love this play. We have an incredible promo up for all of you guys. It's basically an all-access football pass, $490, and you get all college football and NFL until the Super Bowl champs are crowned. It's $35 a week. That's right. There are 14 more weeks left of football. We have a promo up, $490. You get all 14 weeks. That works out to be $35 a week. I am up money in football this year and absolutely on fire. Same with Joe Raineri. So feel free to use that on either of us or both of us. Joe, what do you have going for the clients?
Well, Prez, we got one in every sport, at least one anyway. One college football top play here tonight, two in the NBA, one in Major League Baseball, of course, World Series game number 5. Love these plays across the board here tonight. All of them are available up at the page at WagerTalk.com as we look to keep the good times rolling and, more importantly, the profits continue to roll here, Prez.
4 more segments to go. College football early bets, NFL early bets, NBA rundown from Joe Raineri. What are we doing now? College football early bets. 2 minutes each. Cue the clock. I will go first. Texas Tech -7 against Kansas State, Joe. Let's talk about this game because the books are giving way too much respect for this Kansas State team. Just because they're playing at home and all because they beat up their little brother, this is not a good team. This line is soft. We're going to attack it. Forget the rivalry magic from last week. Let's talk about actual football. Kansas State's offense is completely average, especially when they're at home. Their run threat, Dylan Edwards, he's out of the game. They're going to struggle to move this ball consistently. And who do they have to try to move it against? A Texas Tech defense that is elite. Legitimately elite. They are going to absolutely suffocate this Kansas State offense. And this Texas Tech defense offense can score. They're getting their starting quarterback back. They have a massive advantage on this side of the ball against a Kansas State defense that is not really good. Bottom line here, Joe, Texas Tech's offense is better than Kansas State's offense. Texas Tech's defense is better than Kansas State's defense. Texas Tech is healthy. Texas Tech will cover 7. What do you got for us?
I actually like that one there, Prez. I'm also going to head to Friday night with a big one there against the Syracuse Orangemen as our good friend Bill Belichick getting ready to take North Carolina up to upstate New York. And listen, I got a lot of respect for Bill, given the fact that this team is not quit on him. They can't score any points. They're horrific offensively, but they're very good defensively. And that happens to be the strong suit of what Syracuse can do here, especially against a terrible offense of North Carolina. This total opened up 46.5. It's already been bet down to about 45.5, 45. And to me, the first one to score 20, 21 points in this game is going to win. I don't see both teams getting in the 20s in any way, shape, or form here. So I think it's easy for me. I'll back the defenses, and I'll look to go under in the North Carolina-Syracuse game.
Bill Belichick is my hero, Joe, and not for anything he's done on the football field. Seattle and Washington. That's going to be where I go on our NFL early bets. Cue that clock, brother. Listen, here's my take on this game, Joe, and I don't understand this line at all. Seattle has now been bet down to -3. They were 3.5 across the board yesterday. It's now 50/50. And now that there is a 3 out there, I am very, very interested. Firstly, the Seattle team travels exceptionally well. 20-12 victory in Jacksonville, 23-20 victory in Arizona, 31-17 victory in Pittsburgh. This team, under their new coach, he's not that new, is are road warriors. But put all that aside, I think they're just a really good football team. They got a really good defense. Their wide receiver core is excellent. Sam Darnold is doing really well right now. 2 years in a row. Their running game is spectacular. They have a very well-balanced offense. And this Washington team, Joe, this is a shell team from last year. It doesn't matter who plays quarterback for them. They are not very good. We've got a Washington team that's lost 3 in a row, 4 of their last 5. A Seattle team that's won 2 in a row, 5 of their last 6. I'll take Seattle to win this game. Going away, -3, no problem. Seattle, please.
Well, that's a good one there, Prez. I am going to go to Houston here because I don't think they figured anything out against the 49ers. And now they have Denver coming into town. And I get it. You know, the loss of Patrick Surtain is not great news, but I don't think Houston offensively is going to be able to take advantage of that loss anyway here. Not buying that this offense is fixed just because they beat a depleted 49ers defense there and still had, by the way, the 49ers an opportunity to not only cover but win that game. I think they're a fraud. I think Denver's defense goes in and shows everyone they're a fraud. I will back the Denver Broncos in that one against Houston.
Yeah, dude, I think that's going to be one of my circa bets. I'm with you completely. Joe, we got a ton of NBA games tonight. You've got 2 minutes to do them all. Let's go.
All right, Prez, let's start in Toronto as the Raptors now playing their third game in 4 nights, the last a couple on the road, sitting at 1-3, taking on the Houston Rockets, who finally got a win there against the lowly Brooklyn Nets. But to me, I think this is a big spot for Houston to keep the ball rolling here. Toronto is going to be minus Jakob Poeltl there, and I think that the Rockets and company will do more than enough to cover the 5.5, 6 points in this one. The Celtics are terrible. I told you earlier, I think the Cavs at this price go in and blow them out at the Garden. I'll be taking the Cleveland Cavaliers. Orlando taking on Detroit here tonight, and Orlando has been playing at a ridiculous pace, but they're not winning games doing so. So I do think Orlando will start to tone it down here a little bit. They have owned Detroit in the past. I think the under might be the best way to look at that game there. The Hawks should absolutely trounce the Nets. Nets are terrible. The Hawks looking to build a little momentum here at 1-3. I think they will. I think the Bulls are going to keep it rolling here against the Sacramento Kings, who are once again dealing with some injuries, but Chicago playing at a up-tempo pace. I don't mind their team total up and over in that one. Meanwhile, the Mavericks may not have Cooper Flagg. The Pacers don't seem to have anybody. The injuries are piling up. Tough for me to convince myself to lay the 6.5 with Dallas in this one. I think the Nuggets blow out the Zionless Pelicans here tonight. I think Portland doesn't need Chauncey Billups. I think they can go into Utah and handle business in that game. So does the market, by the way. I think the Timberwolves roll the Lakers here tonight. No Luka, no Lakers for me. And I think the Grizzlies and Suns get ready for an over in that one, Prez. And that's your NBA rundown.
Yeah, Joe, there's only one hockey game tonight. I gave out my favorite play, which is over 1.5. Goals in the first period. I stole that play from Carmine Bianco. Let's get into the mailbox segment of the show. Nathan, best show ever, way better than anything Kelly could try and put out. We love Kelly. Kelly's the best. We do not compare ourselves to Kelly, but I do think this is the best show ever. Prez, what do you put out on WagerTalk regarding Audition? No, that's irrelevant. Play that funky music, White Boy. Name the band, Joe. Name the band who played that song. Can you do it?
The name of the band that did Play That Funky Music, White Boy was Wild Cherry, 1974, Press.
You Googled that. Yeah, you Googled that, you dog. Inagata Davida, name the band. Inagata Davida, name the band. Iron Butterfly. Prez shit the bed. Seems like a regular scenario. Transparency would be nice. I went 4-1 last night, 3-0 on Monday night. I went 4-1 on Sunday. I won on Saturday. I'm killing it in NFL football. I'm winning in college football. I'm up in NBA. Yeah, okay. Sure, buddy. Great info as always. We love these comments. And can you imagine having a total base prop on Max Muncy last night? That was 2 days ago. I don't know what he's talking about. Joe, I'll read. Okay. I want to thank you all for watching the show. Hit that like button. Get some snow. Joe Raineri on the base. Bringing out winning information. I don't know what rhymes with base really quickly. Please pump the show, Joe, anytime you want. Goodbye, everyone. Joe is a... Yeah, baby! That was incredible. Incredible.